Okay, what to take on retreat. So I'll split this into two parts. This is jungle. Actually, so first of all, with the jungle, don't take a huge big suitcase. Most of these jungle retreat centres are, could be 2 or 3 different modes of transport to get there, and you want something that's going to be easier to carry and things like this. So I highly recommend backpack if you can. And in terms of clothing, again, the jungle depends on the time of the year that you're going. Rainy season is very different to the dry season, and even the dry season, depending on where you go, you need to be careful that, or just keep an eye out that it, winter time, even though it's a dry season, it can be quite cold in the jungle. So just something to bear in mind depending on where you're heading to. But assuming that it's sort of normal warm temperatures in the jungle, then obviously we don't need to take a lot. I would probably, apart from the obvious, I would recommend a light pair of pants to wear at ceremonies and things like that, and also for having meals, depending on what sort of protection your retreat centre's got from mosquitoes and things like that. But yeah, just something light, because it obviously can get quite warm. The only other thing apart from the obvious is perhaps if you're going into the wet season, you might want to take a good raincoat with you, and perhaps even gumboots. But you could buy gumboots from probably wherever you go. Just depends on the retreat centre, but you can sort of check that stuff out. They normally would let you know that the wet season could be a lot of rain. Again, if you're on most of these centres, if you're going for a long retreat, you'll probably be on the ayahuasca dieta, so that also extends to not using chemical products. So don't take anything chemical with you. Soap, toothpaste, underarm, mosquito repellent, nothing chemical, because you'll just be told you can't use it. So try and get something organic. In some places actually won't even let you use, or encourage you not to use anything, but they generally are okay with organic products, natural products. So in terms of other items, torch is obviously highly desirable, and a headlamp can be really useful. If you do get a headlamp, get one that's got the blue or blue and red light, or either one. Just if you're in the ceremonies and things like that, you want to use it. You want to obviously be blinding people. So yeah, torch. The other thing you might want to consider is quite nice to set up a bit of an altar when you get there. So you might want to bring some photos of your family, or you might want to bring crystals, or just anything that you feel drawn to bring. And then on the other hand, as I've sort of mentioned before about this is important that we go into a retreat. So don't bring loads of books or things like that. If you are going to bring a book, bring something that perhaps is something that you read regularly, some sort of spiritual text or something like that, as opposed to something that's going to give you new information. So there can be a tendency to I think we're going to lie around and read. The mountains is obviously different. It can be obviously quite cold. I'm currently in La Paz, and it's warming up here, but it's not too bad during the days, but in the evenings it can get quite cold. So a lot of these towns, if you come into somewhere in South America for your retreat centre, you'll find that you're able to probably buy very cheap clothing, new and second hand. So particularly winter cold clothes can be quite bulky. So I would recommend having a decent pair of thermals and a decent jacket. Then obviously and then other stuff you can buy when you get here. Obviously bring what you need to wear, but you can go and buy, like I've got this nice it's getting a bit outdated now, but worn out, but alpaca jumper that I've had for a year now. It cost me like $20 I think or something, and it's just wonderful. It's nice and warm, and it's okay. So you've got lots of options there, and some beautiful clothing and things that you can take back home. Something to bear in the back of your mind. So there's a few little tips there on what to take, but really, I think the real messages there are take as little as possible. There's a few things there. I think I mentioned taking a good balm for bites and things like that. There's a few little things like that can be really useful. But really, again, it is about retreating, so we want to take as little as possible. All right, thank you.